Listen, it's got to be Theo Walcott. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Raheem Sterling. I think he's a very good player, very dangerous player. We're going to have to watch him closely. But I'm going for Theo. I mean, his goal-scoring record is second to none. He scores goals, he's quick, he's got the pace. I think Raheem Sterling's got the skill. Actually, you know, if you got both of them together and morphed them into one player, you'd have a player probably better than Cristiano Ronaldo. But I'm going for Walcott.
Sterling or Walcott, Walcott or Sterling. Look, there's no decision to be made there. It's Raheem Sterling all day long. Theo Walcott, look, potentially a very impressive footballer. He's reached that age now. You know, I think he's like 26. He should be kicking on. He should be one of the. If he's got it, this is the season, and maybe going into next season where he has to prove himself one of the best footballers in the world. And I just don't see enough of that. And you know, he's got his consistent injury problems, which he's been plagued with throughout his career. He's got loads of talent. I'd have him at Liverpool. I'd have him in the squad. Is he better than Raheem Sterling? Would he go into our starting 11 ahead of Raheem Sterling? No, not for me. Raheem Sterling all day.
This thing that Liverpool fans keep coming off with about he moved to Arsenal because he wanted to be in London, presumably so he could go to Harrods or he could go shopping. What a load of rubbish. He moved to Arsenal because we're regularly in the Champions League. He moved to London because he wants to play for a manager like Arsene Wenger. He wants to play in front of 60,000 fans every week. He wants to play for a big club that is respected across Europe. Liverpool are a big club, but I'm sorry, right now we're bigger. So this rubbish about, I mean, what? There are no shops in Liverpool? You know what I mean? I mean, for last time I looked, there are other players up north that, you know, moved there not just because of London. What about all them players at Man City? What a load of rubbish.
Look, Alexis Sanchez absolutely chose Arsenal over Liverpool because of the law of the bright lights and the gold-paved streets of London. Clearly, that's the only major difference. No, look, I think it's a contributing factor, and I know he's come out in the press and said things like, I chose Arsenal for footballing reasons and blah blah blah, and that's fine. But he's never going to come out on Arsenal TV and be like, yeah, to be honest, I just like the tube. The transport links are better. That's the real reason I signed for you. Is he? No, he's not. So he's obviously going to sing the praises of Arsene Wenger and Arsenal Football Club and all that biff. But to be fair, we know he really wants us to play for Liverpool. No, look, in a footballing perspective, I've said in the summer Liverpool were probably more of a gamble than Arsenal. I think he's probably getting offered comparable wages. I think the financial structure was probably very similar for him. Arsenal, though, are a shoe-in. They're a safe bet for Champions League footballers, whereas Liverpool, we'd had a phenomenal season. We played the best football in the Premier League, particularly in the second half of last season, as Arsenal fans saw at Anfield. But I think when you look at it, when he was probably looking at his future over a couple of years, if you're going to bank on a club being in the Champions League and playing at that level consistently over a couple of years, the safe money's absolutely on Arsenal, and obviously Arsenal play a good brand of football as well. So look, there are obvious comparisons between the two sides. It probably didn't boil down entirely to location, but I think it definitely would have been a factor. But ultimately, like I say, Arsenal were probably chosen because they spent massive sums of money in the last couple of years on some big name players, and they've got that consistency. So that was probably the real reason why he chose
Arsenal. Steve Gerrard. Right now, I'd have to say at the moment he's a liability, but let's give him credit. He's a legend. He's done a lot for Liverpool. He's carried them over the years, but at the moment, a liability.
Steven Gerrard is absolutely a legend. I mean, look, I'm sure Robbie will be happy to make a case for liability, and I think people who don't watch a great deal of football, and maybe younger fans who haven't got a broad spectrum of knowledge when it comes to great players and what they've done in the modern game, you might look at Gerrard and go, "Oh, he fell over," and he got sent off against Man United. That's all Steven Gerrard is. No, this is not the case. Steven Gerrard, when he eventually hangs up his boots, will be regarded as one of the finest footballers ever to play football of all time. What stands out about him as an exceptional footballer is those game-changing, game-winning moments, the genuine top quality, top of their profession footballers deliver, and Gerrard's got an absolute sack full of those.
What kind of question is that? I mean, I'll be honest with you, I thought Balotelli would be a good signing for Arsenal. I thought. Now, I've got to give credit to Arsene Wenger for not signing him. He's got the talent, but there's something wrong up here. When he plays, it's all about him. It's all about Mario. But when Welbeck plays, Welbeck is a team player. And you can see his goal-scoring record for England. At the moment, he's the top scorer in the Euros. For Arsenal, he's done very well this season. Who can forget his massive goal against Manchester United? Definitely 100% Danny Welbeck. I love him.
Okay, in hindsight, Danny Welbeck probably a better buy than Balotelli. But I think it's quite telling that he should be a miles better buy than Balotelli, because Balotelli has been rubbish this season. He has been dreadful for us. We've seen some decent cameo performances off the bench, but when you're talking about a guy who signed for 16 million, he's an Italian international, he carries this weight of reputation, supposedly being an amazingly talented, talented footballer. He's been a huge disappointment for us. Danny Welbeck, I think, for the first half of the season, I think there was no doubt whatsoever. I'm not sure that Arsenal and people watching will know far better than I what his return's been like. I don't watch him week in, week out, but Danny Welbeck is not. I don't think he's ever going to be a world-class player. I think at times his ability is in doubt. And does he have that extra thing to kick him up? Mario Balotelli does have that X factor. We've not seen it, but apparently it exists. It exists enough for him to be good on computer games. So someone knows something about him anyway. I think ultimately Welbeck a better buy, but is he a much better buy than Balotelli? No, not really, because is either of them setting the league alight? No, I think that's the most simple point on that.
I said it right at the start of the season that I thought it'd be Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United. I thought that Liverpool would miss out. It's kind of looking that way. Still early to say, but I think those are going to be the four that make the top four.
Now, prior to Liverpool playing Man United, and I've said we were absolutely nailed on for top four, I still believe it. I still believe Liverpool can do it. I think it's more a case it's going to be a very, very late scrape into fourth position, last day of the season, maybe a game or two to go, we might just about do it. And in that case, we'll obviously usurp Arsenal for their top four place trophy, which I know you'll all be gutted about, but I actually get on this. I think these are going to finish third, so I think it's going to be Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool are going to be the places for top four. Although, let's hope you collapse and we finish third. That'd be sensational.
Coutinho's a good player. We got to be careful. We got to close him down. He can bang him in from a distance. But Santi Cazorla is a magician, and he scored so many big goals for Arsenal. Remember last year in the FA Cup? It's got to be Santi all day long. He's just that little magician there in midfield, two-footed. Santi all day long.
Now, Coutinho, and it's Coutinho, not Coutinho. Coutinho, Santi Cazorla. Look, in an ideal world, both. I don't think that. I think they're similar in the fact that the creative attacking midfield types. If Coutinho continues to improve his prowess in front of goal, there's no one I'd have instead of Philip Coutinho. His pace, his dribbling, his vision, and again, if he adds that ability to get a few goals as well, if he starts getting double figures goals from it, and look, he's on that upward trajectory as far as his abilities go. He's going to be classed as one of the greatest players ever to play the game. Cazorla's very, very, very good, and I've been very, very, very jealous watching him play for Arsenal since he signed. He's exactly the kind of player Liverpool probably should have signed, but I think the difference is obviously Cazorla's right there at the peak of his powers right now, and I actually think they're at a very similar level. Simple fact is Coutinho's probably got 4 or 5 years at least on Cazorla. He's only going to become a better footballer. I don't think Cazorla can get any better than he is. So for me, it's Coutinho all day.
I'm going for Arsenal 2, Liverpool 1. Big win for Arsenal.
I'd love to be dead bold, and again, if we'd not lost to Man United, I'd be in here going, yeah, we're going to come and we're going to smash you. I want this to be just, I want Liverpool to be honourable in this match. I want us to dog out a really, really nasty last-minute penalty win. 2-1. 2-1 to Liverpool.
So don't forget to check out the game on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be live on BT Sport. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Can't wait. Subscribe here to Arsenal Fan TV and hit that like button. We're going to do this. Right, my 11 featuring Arsenal and Liverpool players. There's no Liverpool players in it. No, I'm only joking. Right, let's start. Goalkeeper, sorry, it's got to be Ospina. Millionaire for Liverpool. He's made so many mistakes this season. Nah, I can't have him. It's got to be Ospina. He's come in, Colombia's #1, and he's done all right for Arsenal.